is Anthony Dreamer here, and today I want to talk about a dream that I had in 2024, around mid last year, 2024. And in the dream, yeah, I want to talk about a dream about a Hindu teacher. Now, basically, now to start off in the dream, basically, in the dream, I was walking through a room. It was like this kind of hallway, and this open space, like kind of Hindu camp, and I was like. I kind of knew it was like a Hindu retreat, like a Hindu learning center. It felt like a Hindu learning center. It felt very new, very peaceful, very relaxing, very new. Like it was in a different time. I kind of like I was in the future or something. I saw like plants outside. There was these. It was in this like kind of black kind of like thing, and it was basically like this bald Hindu teacher, and he was had like a red. He had like this really big red mark on his head. It wasn't like the bindi dot. It wasn't like the small red dot like those that Indian women and ladies like to wear to show they're married. It was something else. It was some kind of other big red dot with like some white markings around it. And basically this bald Indian man, some kind of like orange robe, but it was like you could still see his trousers or something. It was leading me and my friend to the classroom, and basically he was inviting us to this kind of like teaching session, or this classroom, or the classroom session, and he was teaching us. It was like he was trying to teach us spirituality. Basically, the scene changes and stuff. Like me and my friend were there, and we were like sitting in these like chairs around this. But the guy had like a kind of like whiteboard or like a board. He was presenting stuff, and there was like all these Indian people around here. It was like me and him were like the only non-Indians, like white guys. Not that that's really important, but yeah, it was an interesting detail. And basically, he was there to teach us lessons, to teach us things, to tell us that we need help with. And he basically said, "Okay, class, everyone in class except for the Muslim guy, listen to me about what I'm going to talk about." And then he pointed to the Muslim guy and said, "Like the reason why we're not doing the Muslim guy, like you know, basically said everyone in class except for the Muslim guy, listen." And he basically the reason why, like except for this Muslim guy, because he is blinded from Hindus. He cannot hear the truth. He cannot hear anything we say. He's being blinded, is spiritually blinded by Islam and assumably Allah. And basically, like the Muslim guy, he was like a Middle Eastern kind of Indian, Pakistani looking guy, Turkish guy, whatever. And he had like big black headphones on. He had really big headphones, like they were the size of my hand. Like they were this big and they were going over his head. And they were he was wearing really big headphones. He was just completely wasn't paying attention. It looked like noise blocking headphones. And basically, yeah. And I guess that part is supposed to show that Muslims are ignorant or something. And then he basically started talking. He told my friend something, and I don't remember what he said to him, but he said some very interesting, important lesson to him. And I told my friend about that later. And then he told me that I should focus on doing my schoolwork and do it during the breaks. So, yeah. Basically, yeah, I was just studying at Polytech back then. I had a lot of work to do. I was procrastinating really badly, and basically, I was supposed to do my schoolwork during the breaks and stuff. And I didn't really understand the dream. I didn't follow it or listen to it, and it leads to some bad consequences. And like that part's not really relevant to anyone else. Like, it's not really relevant to anyone. But this was a dream that was more for me, but it had some other elements that I should talk to people about. So, yeah, um, basically, basically in the dream he said that the Muslim man is ignorant, he's blind. So basically, this dream is saying that Muslim people, they can't hear what you say. They can't like listen to what you say. They can't be reasoned with when you're talking to them about Islam, criticizing Islam, and they're basically spiritually blinded from Hinduism and spirituality. So basically, the reason why Muslim people are so hard to reach, is so hard, difficult to be with, and difficult to deal with sometimes, is because they're being spiritually blinded, like they're spiritually ignorant, like they're under like a veil where they can't see anything, they can't understand anything. So I think it's supposed to say that Islam keeps you in a state of spiritual ignorance and darkness. And if you ever see like a Muslim who's like very hostile, very aggressive. The reason why Muslims are so hostile and aggressive is because they're under spiritual control by Islam. They're under spiritual blindness, under spiritual darkness. And if you're Muslim, I just want to say, I hope you're not offended by this, but you should consider trying to research Hinduism or Christianity. You should stop following Islam and start to follow another religion. Islam's not a good religion. So yeah, I guess that's what it's about. And this Hindu teacher seemed like a very wise man. So I guess for me, it was a personal message for me, and for my friend, it was a personal message for him. I told my friend about it later, and he found it very interesting. And I hopefully the stream has helped him out. And he was like trying to give advice to people for some reason. Like I don't know why he was trying to give advice, but yeah. So I guess this shows two things: Islam spiritually binds people and keeps them ignorant, and also I guess there's going to be a future Hindu like temple or complex or retreat set up in the country sometime in the future, assumably in New Zealand because I'm from New Zealand. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this, but I guess yeah, I guess if you're a Hindu, you should know these Muslims, they're not on your side, they're not trying to help you out. They're under supernatural influence, I think, by some kind of demonic being. Christians would call them fallen angels, but you would call them asuras. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm out. Peace.